Hello, you're welcome again to my channel. This is King, aka The Prince. I'm here to drop some very interesting spiritual nugget today. So all those of you that subscribe to my channel, please, yeah, pay very close attention to what I'm going to say today. I'm making this video because of a question that was asked me by um, one of my viewers, and they said, um, when you are spiritual or when you're living a spiritual life, do you have any commandments that you have to obey? Like, because in my last one of my videos, I explained the difference between being spiritual and religion, and I also said religion has a lot of do's and don'ts to help to guide the believer on the path of righteousness. But being spiritual is different. So that's why one of my viewers asked the question, okay, if you're being spiritual, do you need to live by any set of rules? Um, I need to address this in a way. Before Christianity was brought, or Islam or was brought to Africa, we were not a lawless society. We were spiritual people, but we were spiritual, but we had set of rules, do's and don'ts. Even in our society, then we know you should not kill anyone. You should not take things that does not belong to you. We did have the Ten Commandments. We know that you should not take someone else's wife. We know that we knew that these are things that were not written down like in a book or in like Ten Commandments. These are things we knew. These are unwritten laws that govern our society. It's the same thing with being spiritual. We want to go. Let's go to the Mount Sinai. The Ten Commandment was given to Moses on Mount Sinai. But before then, way back in Egypt, for thousands of years, we have the negative confessions. There were almost 50, not even 10. There were 50 something of them. Where I have not stolen from someone, I have not killed anyone. Those were the negative confessions. It's not like thou shalt not. It was I have not killed, I have not taken someone else's wife. So they call them negative confession. But this negative confession has been there for thousands of years, and Moses learned all these in the land of Egypt. Moses studied in Egypt for 40 years before he went into the desert. If we go to the New Testament, if you go to Romans chapter 8, verse 2, um, Paul was saying something about the law of the spirit of life. What was it trying to talk about? You see, being spiritual does not mean, yes, you can do whatever you like. You have these boundaries. You have these boundaries. You naturally know what is not good, um, what is not good and what is right. But today, okay, let's say it's okay. The Ten Commandments. We Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not kill. These are things. These are commandments that we naturally obey, even as we are spiritual, because it is very important um, to build your spiritual life around these do's and don'ts. It's, it has always been a guiding factor in our society in Africa, in Egypt, ancient Egypt. Even when Moses left Egypt and okay, they came out with the Ten Commandments. So there's always this um, boundaries, like to guide us, to protect us. So being spiritual, you don't really have to have it written on a book, written in a book or written anywhere. But these are things we know spiritually. These are things we just abide. We abide by, because um, being spiritual, we have positive and negative forces, entities that are out there. And these entities, they can be good and they can be bad. It depends on where you are standing. And also, this it also help you to keep yourself pure. I would like tell a very short story that was told to myself and my sibling when we were young by one of our uncles. He told us the story of a king that called all the wise men, all the native doctors, should say, all the wise men, and brought them to his palace. And they sat down in a circle, and he put uh, a lamb, a goat, right in the midst. This goat was clean, was without blemish or without spot, and he told them to try to see which of them is strong enough to kill that goat without laying a hand on the goat. Use their enchantment or whatever they've got to kill that goat. And they all tried for several days, they could not. Then after a while, they came together and they said, you know what, King, what you've asked us to do is very, very difficult. Um, this goat has no spot on it, has no blemish. It has no. We need an entrance. We need a spot whereby we can entrance. There's no entrance, so it's like so. The king now says, okay, someone take a pin and they prick the foot of the lamb, and within minutes, the lamb was dead. Um, so basically, negative forces coming into your environment, they need an access, and most cases we are the one that creates those access for them. How do you prevent yourself from having those kind of loopholes in your defense, both your physical and the spiritual defense? Because we all have spiritual defense, whether you like know it or not. We have our spiritual defense. If you walk on the street without a spiritual defense, you're as good as a zombie walking there, because there are entities out there. So what happens is this: when you abide and you stay within the fence and within the protection of the what you are not supposed to do, what you're not supposed, you've not stolen from someone else, you've not killed someone, you are staying within that protective, then those entities, they will not have access to you. Even if we go back to the scripture, there's somewhere where, if we go to the book of Job, when according to what they said, Satan came to heaven and was talking to God. These things are code; they are written in code. Like I always say in my videos, please, the lips of wisdom are sealed except to the ears of understanding. If you haven't got ears of understanding, you will not understand what I'm trying to say. But yeah, Satan came and was God said, "Oh, have you seen my servant?" And what is Satan said to God, "Oh, yes. Is it not because you are protecting him? You put a fence around him." What was he talking about? Job was a man that was a spiritual, was very, very spiritual. He abide by the rules. He played by the rules. So he has, because of that, he has a fence around him. He has a protective protection around him. And the forces and negative forces and entities out there, they can't break into that unless you put a loophole. So when you go out and you commit all these things, you think you are doing someone else. No, you're doing yourself, because you are putting a loophole in the fence and the boundaries that surround yourself and your family. So when these negative entities come, they are free access. Next thing you now say, "Oh, we don't know how." No, 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 no. There is always something that has been done. You have done it. Maybe you've done it 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You did not remember. You have placed that loophole there, and that is where those entities come in. They come in, and you have no protection against them. So being spiritual does not, I repeat again, does not stop you from obeying this commandment, mainly the 10 commandments. But if you want to go go further, you can go to the negative convention. Those are a lot of things. But working spiritually, these are things naturally that will come into you. You don't have um, that desire to do harm to your fellow human being. You don't have the desire to take things that does not belong to you. You are content in yourself. You are generous in yourself. You give to those that do not have. This is in a way. A friend of mine told me, that is a Muslim, told me that, oh, if you give alms, you are building up something for yourself in heaven. There's a way he said it, but then I did not understand what he was talking about. But really, when you give out alms, you're building up reserve for yourself, just in case in the day of account, and where you have to give account. Um, you may have done something bad in the past, but then you've done also a lot of good. um, these are going to be weighed in the land of Egypt. They talk about when a man dies, it goes through a gate where they weigh your heart against the feather, and if your heart is heavier than the feather, then you don't pass. So these are all coded, and these are all symbolic. Basically, what they are saying is, don't do bad, don't be evil. As much as possible, live your life without fault. Live your life blameless. But spiritually and physically, you will get that protection around yourself and your family. I'm going to try to stop here right now. I don't want this video to be too long. Yeah, like I said, this is the answer to answer that question. Being spiritual does not mean that you are going to live without law. That's what Paul was talking about. We're talking about law, living with outside the law. The law, these are all um, just symbolic. It means you still have to abide by this law. Don't be wicked to your neighbor. Don't be wicked to your friend. Live, live in peace with everyone as much as possible. Do good to all those you can do good to. Yeah, then you protect yourself, you protect your family, and everything that belongs to you has this protection around them. So, yeah, this is where I'm going to end this video today. Like I said, I don't want it to be too long. The lips of wisdom are sealed except to the ears of understanding. The ears of understanding, they're going to pick up what I've just said. It is difficult if you don't understand it. If you think you if you don't understand it, or it's too difficult for you, it's okay. And also, for those that are trying to understand, those that are trying to seek, knock and ask, if you have questions, leave your questions below. I will try to answer these questions as much as possible. Thank you very much for listening to my channel. Like, share, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thank you very much.